on KEA Kids News.
I call him the man in the mountain because he died in the mountain.
10 years after the Pike River disaster, a special tribute from a miner's daughter.
Well, enough of that, I'm going to make me cry.
And a winning Matariki story from a young writer.
Kia ora, ko purahai, nau mai ki te kawe pūrongo o KEA Kids.
Hi, I'm Erika, reporting for KEA Kids News. 10 years ago, on the 19th of November, there was a disaster at the Pike River coal mine. 31 men were working in the mine when there was an explosion. 29 out of the 31 men died. This is a picture of my dad. I have no memories of my dad. One of the miners was my dad, Josh. My mum was pregnant with me when he died, so I never got to meet my dad. I call him the man in the mountain because he died in the mountain. Now his spirits haunt the mountain. I think he would be a funny, energetic and thoughtful dad. Well, enough of that, I'm going to make me cry. These are some photos of when I went on a trip to Australia. Most of them with my nana. My nana lives in Australia because that's where my dad grew up. Can you tell me about my dad?
He was funny and outgoing and lived life to the fullest. No expense spared is what he always used to say.
Do I remind you of my dad?
I think that you're very much the perfect blend. You look like a little version of me, but you also look like a little version of Kimmy.
In this rock garden, there are memorials of the 29 men that died in Pike River mine. This is the big one that has all the men's names on it. My dad's name is here. This is my dad's rock. What I love about it is the koala holding a big hand and the cards that I made. Love you. How's it in heaven? I miss you. Hope you're proud of me. Every time we've came out here so far, I've had a picture of me standing on the Joshua Rock.
Okay, right.
Dingy Pattinson is the boss of the Pike River Recovery.
And 20.9%.
The recovery wants to find out what caused the explosion so it doesn't happen again. It might recover miners' remains, but that's not likely.
This here is a tag board. So this is all the people that work up here. And on this side, on the red side, it's the ones who are outside the mine at the moment. They're all the people underground at the moment. And there's 2 vehicles underground as well. So we'll go and have a look now at the entrance, eh? So we can stand about here, okay? So you're looking there, it's really dark, isn't it? And the only lights the men have got is the lights that go on their hats when they're underground. But they're all down there now working away. What we're trying to do here is find out what might have happened on the day, and we can get all that information and share it with everybody in New Zealand and all other mines around the world, and hopefully it'll help prevent another explosion anywhere happening again. People deserve to be able to come to work and go home safe every day, and your father and all the other kids' fathers and that didn't get to come home that day. So the best part of my job is helping try and find out why that happened. Come in here, Erika. This is what we call the control room.
Wow.
So this is where we monitor everything that's happening underground.
What are some of these monitors?
So we've got TV cameras all around the site, so you can look up there and you can see all the surface facilities, what's happening there.
This is very good technology, probably better than my iPad.
What's like that?
So here we are back at the beach in Greymouth. I hope you like my Pike River story. Now when you hear people talk about Pike River, you'll know it's a story about me and my dad. This is Erika reporting for KEA Kids News.
Ko purahai nai mai ki te kawe pūrama o KEA Kids. Kei kirikiri roa hai e tūtaki ana ia Maioha. Ko ia tētai itua tui kōrero mō Matariki. Hoa ke tātou. I uria ki tētai whakataitai tui kōrero nā ASB I Parakiri. Ko te kaupapa matua, ko Matariki. Pēhea koe I roto kōrero mō tō toanga.
I karanga tuku kāko matua a whaia kids I ahau ki te tari. I runga iei te waia me te wahine. Ka tei I ko humu ia ki ahau. I toa koe. I te peke haere ahu ki roto I te tari. Ai.
Whakarongo mai ki tāna kōrero.
Te orokohanga o Matariki. I ngā wau kiuki I pō katoa te ao.
Matariki is the mother star. She lives in the middle and represents life. She looks after her kids that sit around her in the sky. The first one is Pohu Dukawa. She represents death and she looks after all the spirits of our loved ones who've passed away. Following her, we have Tupuanuku and Tupuarangi. They help look after all our food from the land and from the skies, like veggies, fruit, berries and the birds. Waiti and Waita help to look after the food and our water. We have fresh water, Waiti, and salt water, Waita. They look after our whitebait, tuna, oysters, and all that delicious kai. Waipunuarangi is the next one. She is a weather star. She lives at the top of the cluster and she looks after all the pools of water in the sky, so rainfall. Next to her, we have Urudangi, who also sits at the top of the cluster. His job is helping Tawhiri Mātia with the wind. Our lucky last, and also the youngest, is Hiwa I Te Rangi. She's our wishing star. So when you wish upon a star, you wish that Hiwa I Te Rangi. All together, they make up the children in the Matariki cluster, and who we celebrate during Matariki, the Māori New Year, which marks the beginning of the winter solstice in Aotearoa.
Ko whiwhi koe te tahirau tāra. Ka hā te au taonga hau?
I whakamahi keo I toku tahirau tāra. I whatu rātou he voucher mō Whitcoulls moku. I haere au ki te hoko I ngā puka mō Percy Jackson.
He hanga mahi I tēnei wā.
Ko ngā mahi o te kura tuakana I tēnei wā, ko te rangahau anō I e tai whetū o Matariki, kia whakarākei I ngā tuanui o ngā whare ki ngā whetū me tai kōrero mō era whetū.
Aha koa ko hipa tua o Matariki, koene tua ka ako I ngā kōrero. Ko perawa hau me ngā pito kōrero o KEA Kids. Hei kona!
KEA Kids News is covering the country with Brits, and we're coming to your town soon. Thanks to New Zealand On Air.